And we're back. Mike Cernovich, DangerPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. Let's talk about Wikileaks and fake news. Here's a question I have for y'all. And the question, of course, answers itself. What's up, guys? Why didn't the intelligence community leak the conversation between Flynn and a Russian ambassador? Where's the transcript, and why has everybody moved on from it? So General Flynn was apparently fired because he lied to Mike Flynn. Even people who listen to me, read me, watch me, should know better. They're going, Flynn was fired for lying. Okay, show me the transcript. What did General Flynn actually say to the Russian ambassador, reportedly say? Where's the transcript? Where is it? They're not releasing it. You know why they're not releasing it? Because it doesn't prove anything. And this is why we learned the difference between Wikileaks, which is real news, and we learned fake news. Think about it. And this is why the fake news media, they hate Wikileaks so much. If you showed me the transcript and it showed General Flynn had done something wrong, I would say, oh, well, you're right. Flynn made a mistake. That was wrong. Good decision, clear decision. Now I understand. But they won't show us the real evidence. The media wants to filter everything between us, right? WikiLeaks is real. With WikiLeaks, you can read the media. You can read what's actually said. Nobody's filtering it. Nobody's telling you what to think. It's just raw facts, right? That's why the media hated WikiLeaks, because you can't spin it. The Podesta emails you can't spin. Here was what John Podesta said. Here are what people said. Clear cut. There is no filter. There is no, well, according to people with knowledge of the situation, according to top intelligence officials that we're not going to name, right? They filter it all. With WikiLeaks, it's the real deal. No redaction, no nothing. And that's why the media hates it, because Mike Tracy, who's a liberal, you know, he's a liberal, but I support anybody who tells the truth with links. And there's this huge scoop in the New York Times which said Trump official or Trump aides talk to Russian connections. And it's so vague. It is so vague. And then you go read it and there's nothing to it. They go, well, there's no proof that anything happened. Do you know what a Russian person with people known to intelligence agencies with connections to Russia? You guys know, maybe you don't know. Do you guys know that yours truly, I forgot to write about it because we were so busy. Do you know that I was mentioned in an intelligence report about Russia's control over the election? So those of you who don't know, Louis Mensch, who is mentally ill, no, I'll tell you, you guys don't know this. I'll write the article at Danger and Play. You think I'm lying? I'll prove it right now. Louis Mensch, who is mentally ill from drug use, wrote an article on Heat Street. And on Heat Street, it said that Paul Joseph and Watson and I, the only reason we get hundreds of millions of views on Twitter is because there's a Russian bot farm. Right? And I thought, well, she's a kook, who cares? Then when that big Russian intelligence report came out, and it was such nonsense, there was a reference to that article in the bullet point. At the time, I posted a screen cap on my Twitter. You can probably still find it. You can probably actually still find, but I'll write it up. But anyway, so according to the intelligence community, I have connections to Russia because some druggie wrote an article claiming that I was part of a Russian bot farm or something like that. Yeah, some of you remember this exactly. So a few of you who watched the Periscope of me, a few of you who saw that Periscope remember that I was referenced in that intelligence report. So if anybody in the Trump administration talked to me, if any Trump aide talked to me, then the New York Times could report that Trump aides have been in touch with people suspected of having Russia connections. Me, yours truly. So everybody now who's ever read my Twitter, watched a Periscope, done a stream or anything, you now all have, according to the standards of modern journalism, you all now have connections to people associated with Russian intelligence operations. That's the bizarre, right? Because there's no proof. That's how bizarre it is, and that is why the fake news media hates Wikileaks. They hate WikiLeaks because what I'm telling you right now is absurd. But here's what you could actually write truthfully. This is what could be in the New York Times. According to intelligence officials with knowledge of the situation, a prominent social media journalist has been in touch with Russian intelligence operations. Right? That's what they could say. What's the truth? Some lunatic who is addicted to drugs and was a groupie claimed that Russian bots followed my Twitter account and therefore somehow I'm connected to Russia. So it looks real big. Like, it would look like, whoa, what a story. Like, I can't believe it. The Russia, there's actually, no, some idiot did this, but that's why they never actually give you the real raw material. That's why they don't give you the source code. Because if they actually gave you the source code, anybody reading it would say that's the dumbest thing in the world. Cernovich is connected to what? Well, what's your argument for that? Because Louis Mensch, who's a druggie, admitted druggie. A lot of you might remember she sent a picture of her nude in a... Does anybody still have that picture? I guess you can't post it. She'd probably get you banned, but she got drunk one night and posted a picture of her in bathtub and sent it off to like all the 4chaners who were on Twitter. So I should have saved the picture myself, but she got wasted one night in a bathtub and sent a nude selfie of her in a bathtub. I don't know where the picture is though. So she's she's kook, right? Total kook. Yes, I don't know where some of you remember the bathtub pic, the infamous bath. Yeah, this is the kind of person that is being taken seriously by the intelligence community. And of course, the answer is that the intelligence community will just use anything that, the bathtub pic. A lot of you have seen it actually. Yeah, where's the bathtub pic? So this is the kind of person who is reporting at heatstreet.com. Heatstreet.com. That's the kind of reporting that ends up in the intelligence community reports. That's what a joke our intelligence community is. Where Mike Cernovich is somehow connected to something because of a total lunatic. Hey Julius, who you barking at? Who you barking at? You know we don't bark at people unless they're intruding. Okay? So that is again though, but now you know why the fake news media hates WikiLeaks. With WikiLeaks, if WikiLeaks had the information, the transcript, we could just all read the transcript together and go through it line by line and say what was discussed, and we could clip it. And then we would actually know the truth. The media, they want to be able to spin everything. The media wants to be able to spin everything and lie about what is said. That's the reality. Do I like Hannity's alt-radical left? I don't think it's going to stick. I don't think alt-left is going to stick. I appreciate that Hannity's running an A/B test and the alt-left, he's trying the alt-left. We haven't really found a label to stick to him. I tried the feral left, which is kind of funny. It hasn't really stuck. Alt-left hasn't really stuck. I call him also American ISIS. And people are saying the transcript is a high security document. Okay, so let's examine your argument. So according to your argument, the transcript can't be released because it's a high security document. The contents of it were leaked to the New York Times, allegedly by 9 people. Right? You got to pick a narrative. So I don't know if you're just not a critical thinker, or if you're a paid troll, or if you found me somehow and you're realizing you're out of your league, you're in deep water, you're not smart enough to be here. But people, if you're saying you can't get rid of the transcript because it's high security, well, it sounds to me like it was passed around, like the intelligence community and the Washington Post and New York Times ran a train on it. It's everywhere, right? 9 people apparently went and leaked to the press. 9 people? I mean, just think of that level of a leak. 9 people. Did the 9 people conspire with each other? Are they talking to each other? Are they plotting things? I'm more interested in who these 9 people are. Right? 9, that's a big conspiracy. 9 people is a massive conspiracy. And that fake article in the Washington Post said it was 9 people. 9, I don't even talk to 9 people. Right? I don't even talk to 9 people. So there's not even a conspiracy between me and 9 people. I talk to a few people here and there. So who are these 9 people? Are they meeting in some kind of, are they meeting at Comet Pizza or something like that? Do they have a lot of pizza there? I don't really know. But when you're telling me that 9 people are all coordinating an effort to leak information, that's a real problem. It's a lot of people. And yeah, but there's a reason we haven't seen the document. The reason we haven't seen the document and the transcript is because it wouldn't show anything. The transcript would not show anything at all. It wouldn't prove what the story said. That's why they never give you the original information. That's what we learned with the Wikileaks. You can go read the emails that the media has reported on. And you read what you read in the newspaper or watch on CNN or TV, and then you read the email and you go, wow, that is like night and day. There's no connection actually between the raw original source material and what you actually see on television or watch in the news. They're completely different narratives, completely different stories. That is why they don't want to release the transcript. It was kind of like the Michelle Fields. Remember that Michelle Fields hoax? Where Michelle Fields said, I was grabbed and almost thrown down. And what did the Washington Post do? So you got to remember who you're dealing with. The Washington Post said Michelle Fields was crying. Ben Terrace of the Washington Post said a tear streamed down her eye. Right? She was thrown to the ground and a tear streamed down her eye. Then what did they do? Nobody believed it, other than the media. The people didn't believe it. Like, no, this wouldn't make sense. Why would Corey Lewandowski, who was Trump's campaign manager, grab a woman in the middle of a press scrum and throw her on the ground with cameras everywhere, right? It doesn't comport with logic or reality. That I was grabbed and thrown down. Wait, he did this in public? With cameras, security cameras? So then they released a transcript, you remember? But it was a written transcript. They leaked it to Haas the Political, H-A-A-S Gold. They released it to Politico, the paper transcript. And the paper transcript kind of sounded bad, but then a lot of people go, well, wait a minute, where did this transcript come from? Well, she recorded it on the recorder. So then finally we were like, let's hear the actual audio. And then you heard the audio, and she's just talking casually with Ben Terrace. So the story went from Michelle Fields has post-traumatic stress disorder because she was thrown to the ground and she was crying. Then there was a transcript where she's shaken up. Then they released the audio, and in the audio she's like, oh, well, that was weird. What happened? And the guy goes, I don't know. That was really weird. Yeah, I don't even know what had happened. So the audio completely disproved it, and then video came out. Finally, the video came out. So you went from Michelle Fields was thrown to the ground, was crying, and then weeks later you watch the actual video from the hotel camera, and Corey Lewandowski walks by, and here's literally what happened to Michelle Fields. That's it. Right? That's it. So you have, now people go, where did Politico come from? We got to follow along. The hoax of the Michelle Fields hoax started in the Washington Post. Ben Terrace said that she was crying. When people didn't believe it, they leaked a transcript of the conversation Michelle Fields had with Ben Terrace to Haskell the Politico. So then Politico goes, exclusive transcript about the Michelle Fields brutalization by Corey Lewandowski. Right? So then we had Haskell leak that. So you got to follow along. I'm a lawyer. That's why I'm able to keep track of things. Lawyers have to be able to collect all the facts, marshal the evidence into a story, and create a compelling story based on all available facts. So then it ended up in Politico, the typed out transcript of it. And then what happened was they released audio, and then from there people go, well, wait, it doesn't match it. And then video came out, and then it was over. But that's the whole point. The minute you have actual evidence, original source material, then the whole story collapses. So we have that same thing going on with the General Flynn thing. General Flynn did not lie to Mike Pence. General Flynn did not lie to Mike Pence. Fact. How do I know it? because there'd be a transcript. Show me the transcript. Well, we can't show you because it's top secret. Well, wait a minute. 9 people went to the Washington Post with it. So if 9 people went to the Washington Post with it, then over 9 people have already seen it, and those people have no OPSEC, and they'll leak anything anyway, so you can't say anything. Well, Sean Spicer said he lied. Well, Trump's walking that back a little bit today. Today, Trump is all about Mike Flynn was being very, very unfairly treated by the media. So yesterday, Sean Spicer was saying, oh, Flynn was dishonest and it was a trust issue. And then in Trump world, they realized that isn't a good idea. When people like Mike Cernovich are saying, you know what, this is weak, this is a bad move, this is bad for the base, this isn't a good move. When people like Mike Cernovich are saying that, then you realize, oh shit, we made a mistake, we better try to mitigate the damage that we caused. So today, Trump, of course, is saying that Flynn has been treated unfairly by the media. You know, now, yeah, Rush Limbaugh too. If Rush Limbaugh, people were texting me saying, Rush Limbaugh is talking about blood in the water and scalps, and how the media got a scalp, and now they see blood in the water, and now they're going to go after more people, right? Rush Limbaugh. So if that sounds familiar, good. I'm very glad that Rush Limbaugh and his people watch my Periscopes. It's awesome. I don't need credit. I'm a team player. We need to get the message out. So yeah, when Mike Cernovich and Rush Limbaugh are saying, hey, this was not a good move with the Flynn thing, now today suddenly Trump is saying, well, Flynn was being very unfairly treated by the media, right? Because it was a huge mistake. And now Trump is going to do another rally in Florida. Where did that idea come from? Who was saying that the whole Flynn thing is a mess, the base is feeling demoralized, Trump needs to start holding rallies again and get the people back out, right? Amazing how things on Twitter and Periscope seem to happen and manifest in real life. Fascinating how that works. They need to do more, though. Antifa needs to be classified as a terrorist organization. That is the next big move Trump has to do. Now that Jeff Sessions... Oh, we got another arrest. Breaking news. I should do another Periscope. Breaking news. 3rd arrest in the Antifa. 3rd arrest. 3rd arrest. People were going to attack the deplorable. They were going to commit terrorism at an event I was hosting. 3rd person now, Colin Dunn, arrested. 3 people now in jail. And there's a manhunt for another person for the 4th. Right? That's the reality. These Antifa people, right? That's the 5th person I've gotten arrested in the past 6 months. Remember we got 2 women arrested at a WeHo Trump rally for assaulting a Trump supporter? Do you guys remember that too? Keep track of this. Keep track, because I talk a lot of shit, that's for sure. I got a big mouth, don't get me wrong. 2 things I have in life. A big mouth and a bad attitude. It gets me into a lot of trouble. But if you can talk, if you can walk your talk, it ain't so bad. So 2 women, remember this? There was a rally in Trump, a pro-Trump rally in West Hollywood, California. 2 women were arrested. Do you guys all remember that story? Where I ensured that they were arrested. I was present. The police didn't want to arrest them. I was there. I was filming. I said, just so you know, I'm a lawyer. What is going on? They have to be arrested. I flexed my legal muscle. 2 women arrested. Right? Now 3 people already who are going to commit terrorism to the department arrested. That's 5 people. 5 people arrested. Now, let's just ask a question, a pop quiz time. Who else in the media, public figure, even a Trump personality people like to call me, 5 people have been arrested for crimes, right? Tell me else who's making that happen. Who else is making that happen? You know, Ben Shapiro, he gets assaulted by that Zoe Tur person, grabbed, roughed around, you know, cries a little bit. These people go on Twitter and cry. They go on Twitter and cry. No, we get people arrested. We do lawsuits. It's a different reality. It's a different world. And we're working on the Berkeley lawsuits, too. We got a lot of things hopping. Federal investigations are going on against Antifa. We got a lot hopping, and that's the point. That's the new right. That's what people on my team do, the new right. What does the new right do? We're aggressive. We push the advantage. You don't break the line with us. You don't break the line, and we got rid of the idiots and the morons and the attention whores. We got rid of the attention, the people who will do anything to get media attention. Some people, for example, when I had the deplorable, there were some people that weren't at the deplorable that waited outside the event begging for the press to talk to them because so much media had been kicked out of the deplorable by me and my co-host. There were some people so desperate for media attention they just stood out there to try like a vulture, hoping the media, they can't get in the deplorable, so then like vultures waiting outside for that media attention. Whereas people like me are saying CNN can't be in there, and moreover, criminals will be arrested. So people can, talk all they want. 5 criminals have been arrested. 5 criminals have been arrested. And we're going after more. Federal charges are coming. Lawsuits are coming. We're just warming up. Why? Because I believe in free speech. I will argue and debate with anybody. But if they have a smaller brand than me, they have to donate money to charity. Otherwise, I should just do a Periscope. But I'll talk to anybody. When you commit violence and you engage in terrorism, domestic terrorism, like the left is doing, then we have to involve the legal system. We have to involve the legal system. Milo's book was going to be released in June because it's gotten longer. And because the pre-sale is crazy. I went on RT. Yeah, I've been on RT. Because they're one of the only media outlets that is honest about me. And there's a couple people, surprisingly enough, who are being honest about me and honestly quoting me. I'll talk to media that honestly quotes me, right? I'll talk to me. Yeah, I triggered that guy on RT. He tried to debate me. That's what happens to people. That's why when people like Micah, every random internet personality is like, Mike, I want to debate you. And I go, when I debate people, I savage them. They end up triggered and screaming and crying. Debates don't go well for people because I just slice right through them. And if people want me to do that to them, maybe because they have a fetish, a masochism fetish, and they want me to humiliate them in person, in a way they want to be, it's like a form of the cuckold fetish. So a lot of people want me to debate them because they have a cuckold fetish, and they want me to humiliate them on camera in front of an audience. And I realize that. I realize that's their kink, and I'm not going to voluntarily partake in their kink. But if they do donate the big money to charity, then as for charity, what are you going to do? But otherwise, yeah, I'm not going to indulge the cuckolding fetish that people have. I'm not going to publicly degrade and humiliate people because they call it a debate. Oh, they have a debate. No, they want to be humiliated on camera by me because that's their kink. Ugh. A lot of creepy people on the internet, that's for sure. A lot of good people. Mostly good people, but there are definitely a lot of kinky people. Milo's book, though, has been selling well. Milo's book will already be 100% guaranteed to make the New York Times a bestseller list. In fact, Milo's book has sold so many copies already that if they banned him from the list, then it would be a bigger story, and he'd actually sell more books. So Milo's now in the win-win territory. Milo's in the win-win arc of his brand. If he does not make the New York Times bestseller list, based on the volume of book sales, then it's 100% guaranteed that the New York Times censored him, in which case that'll be a big story. So if Milo makes the New York Times bestseller list, then that's good. If they kick him off the list and they censor his book from the list, then that's even better, because now we can all just say, oh, we didn't make the New York Times bestseller list, it's rigged. Then that becomes a whole other, story. It's win-win. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. How do we take back the country from a globalist? Well, we got to remind Trump who voted for him. I can't remember who said this. It was a good tweet, though I retweeted it. Somebody said, we voted for Trump and Flynn. We didn't vote for Reince Priebus, right? If Trump had told us while he was campaigning that Reince Priebus was going to be his chief of staff, he would have lost votes. Let's just be completely honest. If Trump had said during his campaign, you know what, and when I'm president, my chief of staff is going to be Reince Priebus, we'd be like, whoa, you know, not a good look. Not a good look. So what do you got to remind? You got to hold Trump accountable. It's the same way you guys hold me accountable. That we voted for Trump. We voted for Trump. We didn't vote for Reince Priebus. And remind Trump who got him elected. Remind Trump who brought him there. Was it Reince Priebus? It was the people who got him there. Watch my show tonight, The Right Mindset. 7 p.m. People are saying, I'll ask you guys real quick. Is 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. a better time for my show? So 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 Pacific, so that would be 9 or 10 Eastern time. Which is better, 6 or 7? I've been doing it at 7. But I'm always, if people think 6 is better, I'm always interested in that. And is it better to have an evening show or an afternoon show? That would be like another question. Would it be better to have an evening show or an afternoon show? Because I'm still figuring this out. You know, because right now we're still in the learning phase. We're in the learning curve phase of the YouTube show. So you all do think evening is right. Okay. So then we'll keep it at 7 p.m. for now. But if that changes, then we'll change it. You gotta be agile. You gotta be quick. You gotta be like a centipede. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Cernovich, DangerPlay.com. Gorilla Mindset. I'll see you tonight with a nicer outfit on, with a fancy shirt, new shirt.